Here is what we call a super prompt. All right? This is where, like, you know how we talk about prompt engineering? This is what, like, minds have thought of to kind of create prompts that give you more. So you have your audience identified, their goals, types of questions, and a negative emotion. This gets into the psyche of your customer, okay? So you act as a customer avatar. You have a goal of, I want you to write a list of who, what, why, when questions. Each of these questions must cause an emotion of what in the conscious or unconscious mind of the customer avatar. While listing these questions, you must focus on what is getting in the way of the customer avatar realizing their goal. I also want you to list the limiting negative beliefs that the customer avatar may have in the conscious or unconscious mind. List all possible limiting negative beliefs, okay? That's called a super prompt. This is what it looks like when it's filled out. I had it for Clarissa, she's not here. Act as a home buyer that can afford over $1 million home. You have a goal to find a beautiful home in Pittsburgh, PA market. I want you to write a list of what questions. Each of these questions must cause an emotion of anxiety in the conscious or unconscious mind of a home buyer that can afford over $1 million home. While listing these questions, you must focus on what's getting in the way of the home buyer that can afford over $1 million home from realizing their goal. I also want you to list the limiting negative beliefs that a home buyer can afford over $1 million home may have in their conscious or conscious mind. List all the possible limiting negative beliefs. All right, so I enter that in the ChatGPT 5. Okay, 5's out. 4.0, the public begged for it to come back, so they have 4.0. There's a couple models in here, but it's 5 and 4.0. 5 is the newest one, okay? And then put it in the ChatGPT, exact prompt, enter. So here's exactly what the output was. Here's a structured list that you can use. I broke it into 2 parts, anxiety-driven what questions and limiting negative beliefs. These are written from the perspective of a high net worth home buyer in Pittsburgh, PA seeking $1 million home, or $1 million plus home. So the anxiety-driven what questions. These are designed to stir unease and highlight obstacles or doubts that might get in the way of achieving the goal. So here we go. This is the first one. It said, what if the home I buy doesn't hold its value in Pittsburgh's market? What if I overpay compared to the other luxury buyers? What if the home looks perfect, but the neighborhood doesn't appreciate the same pace? What if I pick the wrong area, Fox Chapel versus Swickley versus Shaded Side, and regret it later? I didn't do all this. The AI did this, okay? What if the home has hidden structural or maintenance issues that cost hundreds of thousands? And it goes on and on. And I'm not going to read all these because we're going to run out of time. But as you can see, these are getting in the psychology of the customer and the buyer.